What a feeling.
I am music now.
Beings believing.
I am rhythm now.
Pictures come alive.
Right.
You can dance right
through your life.
This week we watched Slashdance.
You guys hear me? Dancing? Dancing so good. Backflip.
You sure that's dancing?
I heard you dance so good.
Yeah, good at it.
Stabby Stabby.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Stabby Stabby. I'm one of your hosts, Dan, and guess what, boys? It's not a beer night for me. It's another homemade hard seltzer. This is 2 parts tequila, 1 part mezcal, 1 liter of water, and a whole shit ton of ice, and a complete lime squeezed into a bottle and seltzerized. It's delicious. I'm really enjoying it. Greg, how are you doing tonight?
Hey, I'm doing all right, and I am drinking a Treehouse Brewing Green IPA. So a little bit less boozy than yours, I would guess.
Well, what is it with you and green IPAs?
Listen, I'm a green boy. That's I'm energy efficient. I'm green certified.
And he's so envious.
Yeah. Also that, and I love money. How about you, Eric?
Not if you're on this podcast, you don't.
Wah, wah.
I'm just drinking an iced tea, but I do have a couple Ballast Point Sculpins lined up. I haven't had them in a while.
Oh, man, yeah.
They're like a little old school IPA, so they're good. So
You remember we used to run out to get the grapefruit Sculpin?
Yes.
When it came around?
Yeah. And then there was like
Good
a
times.
habanero one or something. It was like super hot.
Yep.
Did you ever have that one? Yeah. They just started going crazy with the flavors.
My favorite thing with the habanero ones was if you got one of those like mixed sixes where you can get one of each of their IPA variants. You have a habanero in one hand and a grapefruit sculpin in the other hand, and you take a sip of the spicy one and then you chase it with the sweet one. You go back and forth, and it's just a beer bonanza. Always made me happy.
You butt chugged them, I heard.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
One beer up top, one beer in the bottom.
Yeah, it's not spicy if you go up the butt. That's what I heard.
No, that's not the one you want in the butt. Abort. All right,
Man.
can you tell that we don't want to talk about 1989 Slashdance?
Yep.
Is this
They don't even
89?
know what year it is.
It
That's
was
all.
89, yeah.
When did Flashdance come out?
Oh, I think only like
83 or something, or
I think only the history books know. 83, yeah.
Oh, thank you for Googling that just now.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. I looked it up just a moment earlier. So Adrian Lyne directed Flashdance, the Jacob's Ladder guy. Jacob's Ladder is fantastic. Let's just talk about Jacob's Ladder.
That sounds good to me.
Well, maybe on another episode, guys. We
All right.
we committed to Slashdance, and I'm gonna do my best to remember what happened.
I mean, it's kind of crazy that Slashdance came out 6 years after Flashdance. It took them. How was Flashdance still relevant enough that they gave this title like a parody name, or that they came out with this parody movie to begin with? That's weird.
I mean, I wouldn't even say it's a parody, right? Like it has dancing.
Yeah, that's
kind
true.
of.
I mean, I
But,
guess that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's I guess technically a slasher as well. So two
doesn't
and two together.
live up to its full cool name potential.
Cool name and great cover too. I
Oh,
love the
cover's
cover.
fantastic.
The cover's the best part of this whole movie.
The tagline is "Save the Last Dance for Hell," and then
Man.
the cop character is like in a bikini with her badge like on the strap of the bikini, and she's
my
holding a
God.
shotgun, which I don't even know if she uses a shotgun in this movie at all.
None of those things happen in this movie. She is in a
Yeah.
bikini for a stretch, but yeah, none of that. None of those. No.
Yeah. The cover
Is
makes it look awesome.
Yeah, is the other woman even in the movie?
She must be like a side character. She's just in like a red crop top with like some underboobage going on.
I wouldn't say that's some underboob. I would say that's all the underboob.
Yeah. And then there's like a killer in the background with a knife,
I
and
think
it's all
that's- yeah.
smoky. I think it's the guy, the one guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's called iceberg boob when most of the boob is under.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah, and also
Oh.
asking which woman is which is hard for me because I cannot tell 80s with like female actresses apart in these movies. It's very difficult. I can't see past the like fluffy socks that droop over the sneakers.
Fluffy socks and long butts.
I like my ladies with fluffy socks and backs that go all the way down. All right, that's the most chauvinist I'm going to be tonight, I promise.
Yeah, I mean, the women kick ass in this movie.
They do.
So, well, at least one of them does. I don't know. You just want to hop into this?
Yeah, let's plot it up. Shake that plot booty for us, Greg.
I refuse.
Now let's get to the plot.
So, 1989 Slashdance, directed by James Shyman, opens with a very 80s animation for a title. And then we cut...
Wait, can I interrupt you? I don't know if this is true, but on IMDb trivia for this movie, they say that opening shot of a CGI knife twirling around and stabbing the title is the most expensive shot in the whole movie.
Not a surprise.
Yeah,
this
I'm
movie
not
looks
surprised.
like garbage.
Yeah. It looks like a Commodore Amiga title graphic.
Totally.
Yeah. And then there's
Like
like this jazzy Seinfeldy music in the background too.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
Well, the entire movie is scored like the first season of Law and Order. It's
Yes.
all ba-dum, 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 ba-dum.
Boom. Yeah.
Right. Which is what you expect a sexy movie about sexy ladies in outfits doing sexy dances to sound like. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum.
It's like elephants walking.
Yeah, but yeah, so that's the thing.
Elephant
Like
balls swinging.
it also has a lot of that like comedy music as well during parts.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
So strange.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I'll go on record saying, first time I watched this, after about 20 minutes, I texted the other guys and I was like, this might be the best movie I've ever seen.
Yeah. It opens so good.
I love the first 20 minutes of this movie.
It's a fake out. It's a trap.
It really is.
We'll get there.
All right, so we got our 80s opening animation, very expensive animation for the title, and then we cut to a bunch of mannequin heads and a woman named Alice walking up into like a theater for an audition. She's searching around for someone and finally makes her way to the stage. There's a creepy shadow man lurking in the darkness in the back, and Alice starts dancing around the stage, only to end up having her throat sliced with a saw by the Shadow Man. And the Shadow Man, just what we assume is now our killer for the rest of the movie, because he slashed her while dancing.
Well, does he so the killer uses, through the whole movie, the killer uses like a big wood saw,
Yeah.
but every kill he never once saws somebody. He always, he punches her in the neck. Like, he hits her in the neck with the saw blade, and then it shows like a knife slash across her neck. Like, none of it made sense.
Yeah. I had
None
the
of the
same
ingredients
note.
added up.
He
Yeah.
just like slowly inserted the saw, like doink, and then pulled it back out. It's like, well, probably would have just made a couple small puncture wounds. It wouldn't have like almost cut her head off, you know?
Yeah. The scene has it's like all the ingredients are there. It'd be like watching somebody make a cake and they put like flour and milk and butter and eggs and they put it in the oven and then like a live chicken comes out. Like the payoff did not make sense. Yeah, it was jarring.
I do have to say that after the kill, the transition it's like a delayed scream, and then the scream goes over a seagull like screaming. It's like flying in the air, and I was like, okay. All right, that's kind of cool. And then the credits start rolling up, which are delayed also. And I was like, interesting choice. That was better than the kill, I thought, was the seagull transition.
Always is. Always is.
I hope somewhere the editor is listening to this and is just nodding. Yeah.
That's right.
I mean, I guess at this point we could say that I guess this movie thinks it's a comedy. Yeah, it definitely thinks it's a comedy. It's trying to be funny all throughout. And I think I'm going to go on record by saying that old bad comedies are the worst possible movies to watch. And this one was I didn't hate this movie. I actually was enjoying myself through it, but only because every once in a while a punchline landed. Every once in a while, or one of the characters was just ridiculous enough that I giggled at them like it was a cartoon, and that was about it. Otherwise, most of the comedy was like fucking terrible.
Yeah, and I think this movie itself like has enough ingredients in it to be really good for me, and it really I don't want to jump to ratings this early, but I'll just say it didn't really hold up enough. So hold up its end of the bargain. So all right, so now we cut to a beach scene after our seagull, and we meet a woman named Tori, and she's sunbathing. And suddenly a man comes up to her in a trench coat, and we learn that this is Rupert. He is a very overactor, and he comes over and flashes her. She makes fun of him, and he leaves, calling her very rude. Like she's the one with the problem here.
And it's only after
Tori...
she gets flashed by a dude that is, he's like disgruntled that he didn't accept, or she didn't accept his advances, that it's revealed that she's a cop. And it's like, you didn't do anything about the dude that just sexually harassed you on the beach?
Well, so we learn she's a cop. He doesn't learn that she's a cop. She just makes fun of his tiny package, and he calls her rude.
He also has like this weird theatrical, like old English, like the way he talks. He's like a theater guy, and he rhymes. Like, we should cut this in. It's like, Rupert's my name, and I'm as free as the ocean wind. And like a chiseled rock, I shall reveal my cock. And then and then she's like, why don't you take Tiny Tim home or something like that? It's great.
Yeah.
It's like a great exchange.
Excuse me, you're blocking the sun.
Rupert is the name. A poet is free as the ocean wind. And like a chiseled rock, I shall reveal my cock.
Why don't you take Tiny Tim home?
I'll interpret that as a lack of interest. The rudeness of people on the beaches in this day and age.
Do you think...
I mean, we learn why he's that way later in the movie.
Yeah. He comes back in, and he should not have the job that he has. But,
No.
Do you think he spends like weekends in his office with like a typewriter typing up those poems that he's going to use to go flash women with?
Absolutely.
I like the Tiny Tim reference, like back to one of our other movies, our Blood Harvest.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So after Rupert leaves, Tori packs up and leaves herself, and we're shown the contents of her bag, and that includes a police badge. From there, we cut to two rough women. Who we learned
two rough women
who we learned are glow wrestlers, gorgeous ladies of wrestling. And Eric, did you know who they were?
So I'm looking at the DVD here, and the main actress Tori Raines.
Tori.
Yeah, she's Americana. And we were talking a little earlier. I think like if you watch the show Glow, I think isn't that like one of the main
Is she who Allison
characters?
Brie plays?
Yeah, it's Betty Gilpin.
Yeah,
Okay. That's the actress.
But the two that they meet, one is Queen Kong. I'm assuming she's the one in like the leopard print. I don't.
Yeah, she plays a woman named Repo.
Yeah, I'm not sure who the other one is. I don't know. I wasn't a big Glow fan, but yeah, there's a couple Glow people in here.
You know, Queen Kong wins. Kong in real life, and then when she has a role in a movie, she's called Repo. That's great.
We're all champions in the ring. You come from the street, you come from the sea, you come from the world where there is no king.
But yeah, so they you can obviously see that they're wrestlers. Tori meets up with them because she wants to buy illegal steroids off of them, and they're getting all ready, and she starts trying to arrest them, but the two wrestlers, the Repo and Mavis, who are our two characters, end up fighting back. But Tori, who is about, 1/5 their size, ends up like just kicking their asses and ends up arresting them.
I like that.
That was a great scene.
Yeah, that scene was awesome. I love that they have that like club and skull dynamic. Like, what were we talking? Which movie was that?
It's Bulk and Skull.
Bulk and Skull. Thank you. I made the same mistake in that one too. That was what was the horny Disney movie that we watched?
Hocus
Hocus
Pocus.
Hocus Pocus.
Yeah.
That's right. They had the same dynamic. They're fun. They pop back in later in the movie, and I always smiled when I saw them on screen. They worked for me, although they do not work as steroid users. They don't look like steroid users. Sorry.
Well, I think like honestly, like when you're a wrestler and your job is to entertain more than like really wrestle, like athletic ability per se, you just have to have charisma, and I really feel like they had it.
Yes.
Like, without a doubt, they were infectiously like entertaining immediately.
There were some donut users, I think. Yeah, they did some like old school wrestling moves too. Like it was like, oh, let me pick you up and throw you through this fence and fall on my back.
From the top, you two have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law.
So Repo and Mavis are arrested. We cut to the police station and Captain Edison's office. And now Captain Edison is played by Eddie. The guy was played by the actor who played Eddie Green, or Detective Eddie Green, in Empire of the Dark.
Oh, no shit.
If anybody remembers. As soon as I heard his voice, I was like, oh man, we're in for a treat. And he was not as fun in this movie as Empire of the Dark.
Victoria Ann Rains, huh?
It's Tori. They call me Tori.
Victoria Ann Rains. That was quite a bust.
He's given shit to Tori because she ended up beating up 2 steroid sellers, and I maybe like didn't read their rights to them beforehand and things like that.
They were passed out when she read the rights to him or something.
And he wants Tori and Logan, who I guess is like either Tori's boss or partner or something. He wants them to break big crimes to get bigger stories because he's got a political career in mind. He wants to start moving up the chain. And we learned that Tori had gone undercover at like whatever last police department she worked at to catch a photographer that was killing his models. So I guess she went undercover as one of his models and then was able to bust him.
I kind of want to watch that movie. That movie sounds awesome. I'd be way more interested in a killer photographer than a killer dance instructor. But... Well,
yeah. I don't know. If the dancing's better, maybe the movie would have been better.
I think there's a Red Shoe Diaries with a killer photographer. Look into that one.
There's got to be a dozen movies like that. Also, the police chief's aspirations in this movie, is he a police chief or is he like a lieutenant? I think he's a captain. A captain.
He's a captain.
Okay. That's pretty good, right? Like he can retire well from being a captain in the police department. And I assume so. What he says his aspiration is he says something like the city has a marketing department role open. Like he wants to get into public relations for the city.
Yeah.
Which is a huge step down from captain of like a police department, right?
Right.
Well, yes, but he wants public attention, and he doesn't get that being the police captain.
What? That doesn't. Yeah. But he wants to be in the PR department. You don't get public attention for being in PR. You help other people get public attention.
How he describes it is, he would be the one on. He'd be like
on camera.
The president's press secretary, out there making all the announcements and being on the news, and that's what he wants.
That didn't make any sense to me. To me, every time I saw a guy that like owned his own car dealership looking at the like drive-through worker across the street with like envy. Like it just didn't make a lot of sense to me. Like just be happy where you're at, buddy. Come on.
I like.
But he was terrible.
One of his motivations was there's no good restaurants here. He was like, I'm not going to brown bag it the rest of my life. It's like, okay. That was like one of the, it's pretty great.
Dude, I loved him every time he was on screen. He's such an asshole and a douchebag. And I feel like he hated Tori just because she was a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, yeah, sure. She got her breasts flaunted over every police blotter from Hollywood to Honduras.
We don't know how the pictures got out, but she saved a lot of young girls. Tori cares.
Yeah, she's a regular guy. But I don't have time for a scandal.
Scandal? She got an award for it.
No, you just keep her out of trouble, you understand? Oh, and Jeff, listen, tell my secretary to go ahead and confirm me for that Arts Council cocktail party, will you? Thanks.
Yeah, he was fun to watch. He's just a vile person.
she also had to, I guess, like in the previous We'll Never See movie with the photographer murders, she, I guess, did nude modeling to like get closer to him, and those pictures got leaked to all the policemen.
That's right.
And he was like mad that she did it. And then Logan's just like, she was trying to catch a murderer. Like, it's not her fault that this happened.
If anything, he should be thanking her and reprimanding the police officers swapping these, like, photos that are evidence of an act of crime?
Yep.
Fuck the police. Anyway.
So after they leave Edison's office, Logan, who I believe is Tori's superior, starts hitting on Tori immediately. But she's
what the fuck?
She's pretty much like, she's like, hey, like, you're married. I don't really have any interest in you. But like, oh, it's totally fine. It's all right. That's weird.
That's their banter through the whole movie.
Yeah.
Like every time
he
he's
hits on her the rest of it. Yeah.
She's like, oh, you got a wife and kids, and he's like, oh, we should do something. It's just constant.
Yeah. He ends it.
Sorry. Every single movie we have watched where there have been like professionals interacting with each other, it's always hypersexualized. It's so fucking weird. It's a weird trope that has not aged well.
Yeah, it's similar. Like Blood Diner had that too. Whereas like the new cop came in, and the male, like her partner, just immediately just started hitting on her.
Yeah, you know, if we can get together outside of this place.
Jeff, not that again. You've got a wife and 2 great kids.
Tori, you know I haven't been living at home for more than 3 months.
Well, give it another shot. You've got too much to lose.
Look, you and me, think about it.
Jeff, you're a good friend.
Damn.
It continues, and he does end up giving her a tip, though, no pun intended, on someone who's robbing bag ladies, and so Tori ends up going undercover for that. She goes out at night, picks through dumpsters, dressed like a homeless woman, and 2 bikers.
She dresses pretty fancy with like kind of a tattered like jacket on. But,
all right, yeah.
She's like a hot
pretty homeless woman. Yeah, her hair's done. She's got makeup on. She's carrying a purse.
Yeah. Listen, I don't know how to describe everything.
Her way. No, you're fine. Just this is a police officer. A beautiful police officer's method of dressing up as a homeless woman is to go to like a party center and put a fake cobweb in her hair and pick through a garbage can.
Yeah, that seems all right.
Yeah, that checks.
But 2 bikers quickly come up to rob her. They end up ripping off her shirt, and they are comically very excited by it. As if they've never seen a woman in a bra before.
I'll rip your clothes off and your little ass will freeze tonight. Oh, lady! Holy shit! Oh, lady, what a set! Look at them babies. Jackpot!
They act startled to see that she has breasts.
What? Yeah, it's like, what? What was your plan at that point? Like, yeah, I don't know.
I would like to see them mug a guy, and also their first move is to tear his shirt off, but they don't react. And then they mug this woman, and they tear her shirt off, and it's like, oh my god, what are those?
What happened there?
And isn't it
what? Been stung by bees.
They're both like big burly, like I think they're coded to be like Russian bald dudes. And the one guy, when he's like getting ready to pounce on her, takes a second to peel his fake eyebrows off.
Yeah, I think that might be the best moment in the movie.
In my opinion, the best moment's coming up in about 30 seconds.
Oh yeah,
of the movie. Yeah, because she ends up beating them up. And this is where like the comedy music comes in.
Yeah.
And she kicks the one guy in the nuts like really hard, and he goes down. And as she's arresting them, he's just like he's basically asking her like to do it again because he liked it so much, and it's so completely out of place and weird.
Jesus Christ! I got beat up by a pair of tits.
Police, you're under arrest.
Oh, lady, I mean, officer of the law. I know you're a cop, but Do you think we could get together again? That was the greatest.
You're not only crooked, you're sick.
Yeah, nobody else thought that was funny.
Yeah, it was so bizarre. I didn't know how to interpret it because he's like on the floor gripping his groin because he's been hurt so badly. But then when he looks up, it's a face of ecstasy. Like he's got an O face on, and he's like, "Can we meet so you can do it again? That was amazing," or something like that.
Yeah, it's fucking absurd.
I watched the VHS DVD, VHSBS.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Shout out to VHSBS. We just met them at a recent MonsterCon, and they are awesome. We love them. We watch them all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of our
They're the best.
movies come from them.
Like most of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at the end of the VHSBS DVDs, like up front, they always put like some original trailers, and then at the very end, they'll put like a brief scene from the movie with sort of their logo over it, just like 10 seconds or something. Anyway, at the end of this one, it was the dude ripping his eyebrows off, which was fantastic. Yeah, I thought it was great.
That's great. That would be a good GIF. I'll make that later.
Yeah, it would be. Oh, also the one guy's line is, "Jesus Christ, we got beat up by a pair of tits."
Yeah,
horrible and funny at the same time.
That's just funny.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll move on from that. I don't even know how to describe it. But we get our first of several flashbacks. We learn that Tori's sister died of a drug overdose, and she feels that the drug dealer murdered her. And we kind of see that this is the start of her becoming a cop to fight for justice and to right the wrongs that bad people are doing.
Keep on feeling,
Yeah.
believing.
Yeah, and Tori's sister can't believe anymore because she's not because she died.
That flashback is great though. It was like it's all fuzzy and like vignetted, and there's a doctor in it, like just a voiceover, right? Remember this part?
Yeah.
She talks about like a drug dealer murdered my sister, and the doctor's line is like, "Unfortunately, those things happen."
Yeah.
The worst bedside manner ever possible.
Yeah. Yeah, the doctor's like, it's the 80s. What are you gonna do?
You should have been a better sister.
Oh man.
So she
should have.
I guess that I was confused in the first scene with her and the police chief when the police chief is like, steroids aren't a problem. I want you to do like bigger busts. And she said something about like, well, because they're talking about steroids. She broke up a steroid ring. And he was like, that's not a big deal. And then she says, well, what about all the children's lives it ruined?
Steroids doesn't exactly hit the top of my list of priorities,
What about the kids whose lives it ruins?
If they want to go around looking like Gray's doing, that's their problem.
After this flashback, because that doesn't make any sense, right? I don't know how that makes sense, or at least I'm not aware of how that makes sense. And then in this scene, I was like, oh, maybe I guess she's got like past trauma, and like she's just nervous about drugs in general. I guess
just anything. I think she's anything. Yeah, just anything illegal. She is very against.
Not illegal because that dude on the beach flashed her, and she like cracked wise at him.
I like how we're trying to like actually dissect the story and script.
Eric, what else is there to do with this movie? There's nothing left. There's nothing else to do.
There has to be some rhyme or reason for this bullshit that's happening on screen.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we're getting to the end of the first 20 minutes or so, and that was the best part of the movie.
Yep.
So it's all just repetition from here on out. Almost.
Time for the ratings.
So now we get an audition for Misty Rivers, and Misty comes into I honestly can't tell these places apart, whether this is the theater that we're going to be seeing the rest of the movie, or if it's just some like other bar or theater. But Misty Rivers comes in, she is auditioning, she is a singer and dancer, but there's no one to play the piano. There's no one she didn't bring her guitar, so she's just singing "I Am Your Sunshine," or no, I'm sorry, she's just singing "You Are My Sunshine" in the worst possible way.
Terrible Southern accent. Yeah.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. You are my sunshine.
Yeah. Now, I loved this girl.
Me too.
She kept like speaking loudly to like whoever could hear her, and like, you know, because there are shadow killers there. But she would just like lower her voice and mumble things to herself, and it was just so funny.
If I can handle those jerks down at that long dick saloon I work at.
What was funny was when she mumbled to herself, she like dropped her accent, like.
Yeah.
But I thought that was kind of cool. Like that was in her character. Like she was.
Yeah.
She was playing up this country western singer character, like, you know, in the actual movie. You know.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool.
Yeah. I liked it. She was fun, but
I also like that
she does.
I also like
Keep
that
going.
in both the cold opening and in this scene. These are both like killer scenes. In both of them, women show up to a dark theater for an audition.
Yes.
There's nobody around. The lights are off. There's no, like, maybe there's like one spotlight on the stage, and they just kind of figure out, I guess I'll just get up here and dance for an empty auditorium.
Yep.
And
Yep. You're right.
It doesn't make sense to my brain. I can't wrap my head around it, but I enjoyed watching it.
Yeah, the first one was listening to headphones and dancing. Just in the dark. Yeah.
Well, I think she was at least just getting
Warmed up or something.
like limbered up. Yeah. But Misty goes all out, and all she gets for her trouble is getting strangled to death on stage.
Should have a side movie with Misty.
Yeah.
Prequel.
My favorite part of her death, as callous as that is to say, is that as she's being choked to death by somebody that sprung up behind her, she's trying to tell the killer that she can also like perform, and she's done serious theater roles, and like she's still trying to audition for this play.
Yeah, she's like, I could dance too.
Yeah.
I've got an appointment. This is my audition. I got a good shot at this gig. I can dance too.
Listen, she's hustling till the end.
That's true. You know, that scene is capitalism. We found it, boys.
Yeah.
We nailed it.
Does he
We can go home.
Does he strangle her with her own rope, like her country western rope,
I'll
or
have to
whatever
go back
you
and
call
watch
it?
Her lasso
Wow,
or
thank
whatever.
you. Yeah.
Her country rope.
The old
Country western
the old
rope.
country western ropes. You wear them with your boots and your hat.
Oh man!
I want to go to a Tractor Supply and ask him for country rope.
Hey, country western rope here. I got a country western rope some cows out back. Oh my god, that was amazing.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So Misty's dead. We're all sad, but we
are
do
sad.
move on because Edison and Logan are talking about the disappearances of young girls in town. Now, Edison doesn't really seem like he cares at all. The police captain does not give a shit about people disappearing in his town.
No, he's trimming his nose hair in a mirror.
Yeah, and this is where I think we learn he is interested in that PR job with City Hall.
I really want to compose really targeted emails. Oh, wait, no, this is 89. I guess pages? I want to page people really specifically.
And he talks about like how he's going to get the job because he's young and everybody else going for it is old, and City Hall wants young people. He ain't young. Like
No.
he's not old by any means, but he's not like 28.
Maybe he's having a midlife crisis, you know?
He's got to be like 55 by this point.
Could you imagine a 28-year-old police captain? That would be a nightmare.
The Doogie Howser of police officers.
He's a full foot shorter than every perp he's ever arrested.
wait,
going
at
to
28
jail.
or
Yeah.
when he started?
He's a
When he
little
started
boy.
at 13.
28-year-olds are children. Come on, you can't tell me they're not.
All right, listen, I agree.
You know, to all our 28-year-old listeners, I'm so sorry, and you're adorable.
We're sorry. This is rated explicit, and you shouldn't be listening.
And to all the children, stay in school. Don't do drugs.
Yeah.
Don't do steroids.
Spoiler alert, kids, you never feel like an adult. You're just always a child. Nobody knows what they're doing. And I guess if you're being strangled, stop pitching and try to run away or something.
Yeah. Kick them in the balls, but they might like it. So.
There's also,
see, we're all learning life lessons from this movie. This is good. Thank you, Slashdance.
There's also another seagull transition after the captain trimming his nose hairs for no
Really?
apparent reason. Yeah, they just
I
kind of
missed that one.
use the same footage. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it the same footage?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Nice. Listen, the editor's getting his money's worth out of that. You only got so much B-roll in this movie.
Yep. Pop in a seagull.
Just do it, huh, Jeff? Hey, you know, City Hall has this new public relations job opening up. I'm perfect for it.
Your parents aren't responding to therapy, especially your mother.
Nothing's been the same, Doctor, since my sister's death.
The family would function better if your mother was in a hospital.
I can drop out of college.
No, Tori. She needs professional help.
So Edison and Logan decide to put Tori on the case to find out why these young actresses are disappearing at auditions. It should be pretty easy to figure out, I think, because I think they were all going to the same place, but who knows? We'll find out later. We then get some more information on Tori's past. It turned out her mother isn't currently, in the past, wasn't handling the death of her other daughter very well. And Tori vows to kill the drug dealer who sold her the drugs and, I guess, forced her sister to OD.
Overdose on steroids.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Another child's life cut short by steroids.
Steroids. Oh, they're everywhere.
Damn
they're running rants. An epidemic.
Damn you, Stan
Steroid
Lee.
epidemic.
Or making our children want to be muscular.
They should have flashed back to her sister. She was like all jacked up. She looked like Hulk Hogan. Just like bench pressing people on the beach.
I want chicky nuggies. Mom, bring me more honey mussy. I'm addicted.
Wait, how old do you think her sister was when she OD'd?
Oh, I don't know why, but I was imagining like 12.
Chicky nuggies.
28. 28. You could still ask for
yeah.
chicky nuggets.
There we go.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
38. Everything's chicky nuggies, even sandwiches.
That beer he's drinking is actually just blended chicken nuggets.
Chicky nuggies.
Just meat,
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
meat drink.
He calls them swishy nuggies. It's got a whole thing. Yeah.
Swishy nuggies.
It's like water. It's got stages. He also vapes it, so it's gas.
Yeah, you gotta get it. You gotta get chicken nuggets inside your body, no matter what, however the means necessary. All right.
Nobody
and,
wants to talk
now,
about this movie.
Now we have another audition scene. A woman is looking for whoever works at the theater that she went to, but she gets scared and runs away. Smartest girl in the movie so far. It turns out that Amos was just messing around with the props from the back, and Oliver, he runs the theater with Amos, who is his brother, and they need this. This scene is just
it's great.
Everywhere. I'm trying to explain it here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Amos and Oliver own the theater that this girl had just run out of scared, and Amos Amos is a little slow. Something is wrong with Amos.
Yeah.
In the mental capacity area of being slow.
I don't know about is he? I guess he's like.
I feel
a
like he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Got kicked in
But
the
he's
head.
I think
he's really traditionally handsome. Like he's a handsome man. That was the thing I couldn't get around. Like he was good looking in that like 50s kind of greaser way, but then the way he talked and conducted himself, he was acting as though like he was a little dim-witted.
I think
I don't know.
Yeah.
Something about it just didn't add up to me. It was
he
kind of
dropped in
contrasty.
from Radioactive Dreams.
yeah, that's it. He's one of those. What were the kids called that kept saying the F word?
Disco mutant.
Yeah, he's a grown-up disco mutant.
There you go.
That's it.
Are we screwing around again?
But yeah, Oliver and Amos own and run the Van Slake Playhouse, which is where basically the rest of the movie is going to take place. And they need their next show to be big, and they need because they need to keep the theater open. Apparently, they've fallen on hard times, but they have a big-time director whose name is Rupert, and I don't remember his last name. Rupert is coming to do a show to help out. We later learn, like, kind of throughout the rest of the movie, that he used to apprentice for Amos and Oliver's father before he kind of hit it big and moved, which is weird, moved to, I think, New York to do things.
Yeah. Like Broadway.
I guess that's more where theater is.
Yeah.
In Hollywood, because this takes place in L.A.
Did you mention Amos and Oliver's father is dead now? Their father is dead. I think because that's the tension, is that like their dad had like a name in this town for theater, and then when their dad died, these two, like, because they're both idiots, like both of the sons are idiots that run the place, and they just can't run a play to save their lives. So obviously now that's why the theater's in shambles, is because what was once great is now being run into the ground, and they're excited for their dad's old friend to come into town and help them rejuvenate by lending like another famous name to the theater.
Yep.
Yeah, and their father's dead because he killed himself in like the dressing room.
Yeah, like you do.
Yeah.
So,
don't forget that though. That may come back in a horrible way later.
Is that how we do foreshadowing on this podcast? We just say that's foreshadowing.
Yeah. Well, sometimes. Yeah. When I've literally forgotten the movie after I've watched it.
That's okay. We got
to just a few days ago. Like I need to make sure
remind ourselves
I am saying the things that are important to know later.
We got a little Hollywood.
Same thing
oh, go ahead.
No, please, after you.
I was gonna say we got a little Hollywood Boulevard montage, also at some point.
Oh my god.
Yeah. For like
that's coming up
for like 4 minutes.
I have a list, Eric. I have a list for that scene. I'm so excited to share with you.
Oh, let's hear it.
That is coming up shortly.
Do we miss something?
So we learn about Amos, Oliver, and the Vance Lake Playhouse, and how we got Rupert coming in to help save it. Now we got Logan and Tori are talking again. He ends up giving her the case to find out why these young actresses are disappearing. They also talk about how Captain Edison is a sex pervert, and we also learn that her mother killed herself, and her father basically shut down, and it's heavily implied that she ended up killing the drug dealer. So that was a little bit more of her past was provided. I do like that. I think they were saying that Captain Edison used to work on like the Vice Squad.
Yeah.
And he ended up like doing a lot of drugs and hooking up with a lot of the sex workers because he just kind of fell into what he was investigating.
I mean, he's so handsome, like he couldn't help himself.
Yeah, he's so young. He's got to be that PR. He's a beautiful man to be on TV.
Yeah, he needs that PR gig so he can compose memos.
The worst doctor ever comes back in voiceover again, too.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
He's like, we're deeply sorry. We have no idea how your mom got that razor blade. It's like, this doctor, he's like the doctor from The Simpsons. It's horrible.
We're deeply sorry. I have no idea how your mother got a hold of the razor blade.
Doctor, my father just sits in silence.
Go on with your new life, Tori.
I'm trying.
Now that you're working in law enforcement, did they ever find the guy who fed your little sister the drugs?
Yes. Yes, they did.
Was he arrested?
No. He disappeared. Vanished off the face of the earth.
Yeah. All right. So now we do have the montage of what I'm saying. It's Tori doing some investigating for the case. And like Eric said, she's walking around Hollywood Boulevard. It looks real shitty, but there is a store called Hollywood Pants.
The same note. I have the same note. I wrote it in capital letters. Hollywood Pants.
This montage goes on for like 4 minutes or something.
Yeah.
It goes on. It's clearly padding for time. It's absolutely padding for time. So I made a list. I like a minute into this montage, I realized this is going to keep going, and I started typing out the things that I was looking at. So this isn't complete. But are you guys ready?
Yeah,
I
let's
typed
do
out
it.
the things that I saw. All right.
Let's do it.
T-shirt. Multiple T-shirt shops. I listed a pants store, multiple theaters, tattoo shops, a sex shop, multiple tourist shops, a porn shop, which seemed different from the sex shop, a wig shop. No, I'm sorry, 2 wig shops.
Whoa.
Multiple jewelry stores, a Harley Davidson store, and I counted at least 6 street signs and at least 3 shots of parking garages.
Nice.
So that was the montage they wanted us to see. And also, by the way, yeah, it was kind of fun to see old school dingy LA. I love seeing like
I agree.
When a movie like shoots in old like 70s awful New York, I love it.
Oh yeah,
I
like
love that
42nd
gritty
Street
town.
shit they always show.
Yeah. Oh, it's the best.
Hollywood Pants sounds fantastic. Yeah, I mean, that's the store I would pick.
I don't recommend shopping on this website, but there is thehollywoodpants.com. if you really want to get into the feeling of slash dance.
It's still around, huh?
It must be.
It looks like a completely different store.
Oh, okay.
This is like, dressed like the Hollywood stars, and that looked like a shithole in the movie.
Maybe the police
just
chief
like
got
they
his
were
PR
already
job.
selling just ripped up jeans and pre-shit jeans.
The detective, like, she went and got it for her bum character. You have any pre-shit jeans I could wear? I'm gonna go hang out by this dumpster for an hour.
Oh yes, darling. These jeans are pre-shit and have a syringe stuck in the pocket.
I just nothing made me happier than to see a place called Hollywood Pants.
There's a whole assless chap section in the back.
Yeah, gotta be. Those are the most Hollywood of Hollywood pants.
No, I mean, now you have me wondering, would there be a section of assless chaps, or would the owner of Hollywood Pants be like, those are not pants. They do not qualify.
What kind of store do you think we're running here?
This says pants. Those don't have a seat. Pants have seats. Just a grouchy Hollywood tailor who's obsessed with definitions. Pants
There's
go
only
past
one
the
thing-
we do capris are of the devil. Get out.
Go down to the street, the Hollywood shorts.
You have to go to San Bernardino, assless chaps.
Oh my god.
All right, this is a good montage.
So, yeah, it was something. After Hollywood Pants, Tori runs into our 2 friends, Repo and Mavis, the old steroid sellers, and they are asking her to help find their cousin Alice. And Alice was the girl from the opening scene. She was killed then, but they don't know that yet. So they give her Alice's appointment schedule, and it was like she was getting her hair done, but then she was going somewhere for an audition. And I don't know if they actually said where, but I also might have not have been listening.
I like how our main detective, she's taking notes on like a crumbled up piece of like yellow loose leaf. Like they were shooting the scene, and she's like, "Oh shit, I don't have my notepad." And they're just like, "Here, take this." Found this over here.
She fished it out of the pocket of her homeless pants.
I was gonna say the same thing. Because she didn't end up buying anything at Hollywood Pants, so she still had her pants from homeless pants.
Yeah, she's taking notes on the back of somebody's like goodbye note.
Oh man, pants. So she's getting a little bit more information on what this crime and who could be doing it.
What
we
this
have a
crime
little scene.
and who could be doing it?
What?
No, that's a good subtitle for this movie. Slash dance. What this crime and who?
What this crime?
Did I forget the word is?
Yeah, that's okay.
Who could be?
It's slash dance.
Oh man, we're going off the rails. All right,
Start dropping words
So-
just to save time on the episode.
I want to talk about the rest of this movie so little that I'm just like I'm dropping just verbs. All right.
Okay.
So now. Oh, actually, this next scene is in Edison's office, and this is where we learn that he wants to be the City Hall press liaison.
Ooh.
But we also learn that he's not happy that Tori is undercover and he can't like pull her out and like get her like in news stories and pictures and everything because she's an attractive woman and he thinks that would help her. But Logan does say, like, he asks, like, well, who allowed this? And Logan's basically like, you signed off on it, so maybe you should read the shit I put in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I own your house now.
He also has
a
framed poster of a Ferrari on his wall of his like
he's
captain's office, like I did when I was 8.
He's a cool dude, man.
Yeah, all right, okay.
Talking about him this much, and like, yeah, that he's like Logan Paul before YouTube was a thing. Like, he just wants attention and fame, but he doesn't want to work or whatever. And he's a total narcissist and wants like people's attention and stuff like that. He's just a YouTuber, but before YouTube came out. Man, what a desperate plight to want to be on YouTube and not know what YouTube is.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. You probably visit our YouTube page at youtube.com.
Do we have a YouTube page?
I don't know.
I'm not even sure.
Pre-crapped pants / pre-crapped pants.
Yeah, you'll find us at Hollywood pre-crapped pants.
Ask a homeless man, and he'll pull a rumpled up piece of paper out of his pocket with our YouTube address. Leave us a review, 5 stars, all 5 stars, please, and then let us know the name of the homeless man who gave you directions to our YouTube page. We appreciate it.
Or also all 5 stars, and let us know what your pants store would be called.
Or what variants of pants you would refuse to sell out of principle.
Yeah, that's important. We need to know.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Now we are at the Van Slake Playhouse, and we learned that Rupert, the flasher perv from the beginning of the movie, is also the stage manager for the show, or for the Playhouse.
Yeah, a perfect job for a serial flasher is to be a stage
be around
hand
women and
getting dressed and changing costumes, and that's perfect.
Yep, he's a piece of shit.
Well, he's a poet, Greg. He's a poet and a piece of shit.
Yeah, it's one and the same. I was a poet once upon a time.
That's it?
What?
I thought you were going to rhyme that.
Yes.
Oh, no, I'm not. I was before. I'm not anymore.
Freestyle.
Oh, there you go.
I just rhymed.
Perfect.
There you go.
I'm so pleased. It's in your blood. It fell out.
So the Van Slake Playhouse is owned by Oliver and Amos, like I mentioned earlier. We get a lot of girls doing like little dances, or as I described it, they're just kind of moving their shoulders a lot because you just get kind of like chest up dancing, and that's not exciting at all.
They're just showing like stage warm-ups, pretty much.
Yeah, they're warming up. Yeah, they're not. They're not even good at warming up, though. I mean, it's bad.
It's clearly not choreographed much.
No.
Yeah.
No. Or they choreographed like 2 seconds worth of things and then just kept like cutting to the next 2 seconds that they choreographed, and it's all very like clunky.
Eric, I don't want to breeze past this moment where
Yeah.
Greg was watching a scene of a bunch of people warming up on stage, and he was like, "This is little dancing."
What's up with these tiny dancers all the time?
What are these little dance moves?
Yeah, what are these mini top only? Why are they only moving their shoulders?
Oh, that dance is called the stretch? That's so weird.
No, this Elton John was watching this movie when he wrote Tiny Dancer.
The back of the DVD, there's a quote from Variety, and I doubt this is actually a quote from Variety. We'll see. It says,
"Is Variety spelled right?"
Yeah, maybe
Okay.
like the letters is off or something. A slasher film meets a chorus line, which is such an insult to a chorus line.
Seriously,
the dancing is horrendous. But yeah, I'd like to actually check on that quote, because that seems like bullshit.
It's barely a slap. It's a saw. He swings and hits people with the blade of a saw. All right, I'm gonna stop with this.
I mean, I don't think a slasher necessarily has to be like killing with a knife. I think it's just like one person
killing.
Like it's kind of like the mystery of who's the killer, and you know, all these people are getting killed one by one. I think that makes it a slasher more than like the weapon.
Yeah,
huh.
Right.
The way you just described that made me think that it's like an American version of a giallo, where instead of all the stylized stuff, it's just focused on like a plot reveal.
Yeah,
the killer,
who the killer is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking about this Variety line. Sorry to go back to this. Maybe it's a slasher film meets a chorus line is not what this shitty movie is. Maybe that was like the end that got cut off. I'm gonna go with that.
The whole sentence in the article is the director wanted to make.
Right.
But
Right, that's right. Yeah. All right. Sorry. Back to the Giallo. Yeah. Let's roll with that.
Greg,
Yeah, I mean, I do think this is trying to be a giallo because you've got like it's trying to be a little bit Suspiria with the like dancing. I think
a lot of mannequins, a lot of costumes,
yeah.
a lot of sequins,
significantly less witch and witchcraft ideas.
dreamy
but
flashbacks.
A little more gorgeous ladies of wrestling than Suspiria.
Yeah, and I'm fine with all that. But
No, in theory, it
this
should
this
be.
movie just kind of fucking
No,
sucks.
it should be amazing. It should be amazing.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. You got 80s butts. You got dancing.
perverted
Slashers.
stage managers.
Yeah.
Simple little brothers that are hysterical.
A ghost figure that haunts the place. Like, it should
Yeah,
be amazing.
all of this is
Yeah, it
perfect.
should be awesome.
Steroid addicted Club and Skull.
Hulk and Skull.
Hulk and Skull. Just accept that your day job is to correct me on that, okay? I'm never
Honestly,
gonna get it right.
I'm just hoping I'm right at this point.
Well, one of the worst things is, based on the cover alone, Greg, that doesn't meet your criteria for nudity to make a great movie. Like, that was pretty disappointing, I gotta say.
Yeah. I mean, I will say, you're gonna expect nudity and you're gonna be disappointed.
We all went into this thinking like it's gonna be boob-tastic. It's boob day. I thought, no, it's okay.
Yeah, hey, that's fine. Every movie doesn't need it, but it will not get attacked.
Well, every movie needs it, and this doesn't deserve it.
It doesn't have a decapitation, does it, either?
No, it doesn't.
Man, we did a poor job on picking this one this week.
I'm so sorry. I don't regret watching it. I do not regret watching
me
it.
neither.
When it hits, it hits well. When it hits well.
First 25 minutes, still some of the best movie I've ever watched.
Yep.
This has been sitting on my shelf for quite some time, so I'm glad I got to watch it.
And, I will say this is a middling movie that we've seen that I still think some people listening to this right now will have a fucking blast with.
Oh, I'm sure there's people that love it.
Yeah.
There's probably massive fans out there, so
totally
good on them.
All right, we still have so much movie to go. All right,
well, it's just gonna repeat a bunch. You could be quick with it.
Well, we'll do our best. Okay, yeah. So the girls are doing their little dances. We learned that that director Logan Bridger will be coming in. He's our big name director who's going to help save the Playhouse. Amos is sitting and watching the girls dance, and he also eats a goldfish.
Yep.
Out of a bag.
Really does.
Tori,
he actually does.
Yeah.
And he chews it with his mouth open, and it's pretty shocking.
Oh, but I got to mention before that, his brother's doing the budget like on one of those old school calculators with like the sheet running off of it. But he only hits like one button, and then he moans. Like, instead of doing like actual calculations, he just like depresses one button with his index finger. He's like, "Oh, we're bankrupts based off of this one number."
It took a 0 to 9 to ruin us.
We made $1 this month.
Oh man!
Should have bought all this Hollywood band.
I should have gotten the pre-cracked ones. All right, so Tori shows up late to the audition. Rupert recognizes her from the beach, and I think he screams out something about like, I don't even like going to the beach, and I've never seen you before in my life, and he just runs off.
I never go to the beach, and I've never seen you before in my life.
Okay, girls, come on, let's hit it.
Nice entrance.
We meet Holly and Maxine, who are two of the other dancers, and we also learn that Amos and Oliver's dad killed himself in the dressing room. So that's where we learned that. Then we have a dance montage, which takes a really long time, and Tori makes it onto the show. She has passed her audition, seemingly never having danced before.
Well, none of them seem to have really danced. Actually, the one woman seems to have danced a lot, and the other women are doing their best to keep up.
Yeah. But it's just that these girls are, like, they dance. Like, that's their actresses, and they dance. Tori's a cop. Like, we have been shown nothing that she's did ballet as a kid or even enjoys music. We get nothing about that.
She's versatile.
I guess when she goes undercover, she basically like plugs into the Matrix and learns everything she needs to know.
Yeah, she downloads tiny dance moves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little dance moves, I believe it said.
Yeah, this is like a music video dance routine. Like takes place for quite some time. It's really weird. Really weird.
Yeah.
And there's just
Honestly,
shots like up and down the dancers the entire time.
Through the whole movie, I would have been like, from here on out, they're gonna keep cutting back to them rehearsing on the stage, and they all kind of just shuffle around on the stage together, and it never changes. It's always just that every time they cut back. And how much more interesting would it have been if they actually had like a play they were rehearsing, and like maybe the plot of the play could have paralleled the plot of the movie, and then some revelation could happen on like opening night or something. But I don't know. I guess that would have meant that they would have had to think through the plot of a play and get like extras for an opening night. So that would have been too much work for Slashdance. Right? That would have been cool.
You could follow the play along. Like you could do like a Waiting for Guffman thing, and you get like really into the numbers. It'd be great.
Ah, that could have been so much fun.
So she could have turned into
really
a
good.
swan and then
yeah, gradually over time.
Yeah. I'd watch.
Shit.
Damn.
All yeah. All right. Well, stay tuned for Slashdance 2 Dance Slasher.
Slashdance do little dances.
Little dancers.
No,
that
Greg,
does not sound right. Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Not TM. Not TM. Not TM. We are not making that movie.
It'll be good. All right. So now,
one other. I'm sorry. One other observation. They were waiting all this time for this Logan guy to show up to lend their theater credibility and be like, oh, he knows how to put on a show. He'll help us do the show right. And all he does is he sits and he watches these women dancing, and the only thing he does is every once in a while he says, "Come on, ladies, smile more."
Yeah, that's right.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's all he does.
He's like, closer together. And that was it. That and smile. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all. Honestly, that's all a director does. As far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
I've never done this. Yeah. And they're also dancing to no music as well. Like this, whatever play they're doing, or I assume musical, they're just learning the dance moves, and I guess you could do it just with timing, but shouldn't you do it to music?
Yeah.
Like,
why?
No,
That takes work.
You gotta
Sounds
pay,
like effort.
You gotta pay for that shit.
Seriously.
Well, that's the thing, yeah. Like, over the course of this movie, Logan says things a couple times about, like, oh, the singers are coming in soon. Like, oh, we're going to have our singers here. It's like, where are they practicing? Like, this isn't, like, they're just piecemealing this together. But hey, maybe this is how it's done in theater. I have no idea.
Maybe in New York theater's totally different, it's without music.
I'm willing to wager the screenplay that they all had to work with, including the director and the editors and all that stuff, all it ever mentions of the performances on stage is they're dancing on stage. That's it.
Yeah,
they probably
you're right,
did not
dude.
put any other thought into it.
Yeah, you're totally right.
Yeah.
The actors just were like freestyling it the whole time, I bet.
Yep.
Yeah, sounds like a good movie.
Rupert, let's get back to Rupert doing some flashing.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So now we got Tori and Logan meeting up. He said that Edison is calling her back in, but he said that he can also buy her a little bit more time because she is trying to literally solve a case where, like, a whole boatload of women have just disappeared, and Edison just wants her for photo ops, pretty much. We then move back to the playhouse for dance practice. We see that Logan has taken a liking to Tori. And we also have Rupert going into the back dressing room, flashing his dong at Holly, but Tori pulls her gun on him, and he leaves to, quote, go back to real theater, where I guess it's okay to pull your dong out in front of anybody you want
To flash your coworker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's weird.
Real theater.
Rupert, you startled me.
Feast your eyes on this.
You call that snack a feast?
Where do you hide a gun in that costume?
There's a lot of creeps out there. Girl's gotta protect herself, Rupert.
Don't you think the gun is a bit butch?
Don't worry. I'm not that good of a shot. But my marksmanship might improve if you don't get out of here permanently.
Well, if that's the way you're going to be, I'm going back to real theater, where I'm appreciated.
This movie would be so much better if it was edited to be like an HR video that you're forced to watch. And and Rupert was the main star.
It does kind of have all the red flags in it, doesn't it? They haven't talked about pay. They haven't like talked about time off or how to work together. There's sexual harassment. There's violence in the workplace. Yeah. There's stealing. Somebody steals shit out of her purse at one point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it checks all the boxes.
Steroid use.
All right, Slash Dance 2, HR. Here we go.
Oh, it could just be called Slash Dancer.
No, what about Slash Dance 2 Human Resources? Huh?
I'd watch it.
That's good. Yeah.
I like it.
Me too. That's like, it could be like a little double entendre. Maybe the killer in Slash Dance 2 is like killing talented actresses and piecing together the ultimate actress.
I thought it was just going to be like a bottle movie where it's just like the HR rep up in like an office going like, I can't believe they keep fucking doing this. Just the whole time her just getting like more just done with this playhouse.
That's great. I like that. I like that much better. It's just a movie about an HR rep slowly going insane.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
And then it closes it out where, she flashes her dong.
It's like a sleepaway camp ending.
Yeah.
Like to the audience of the movie.
Yeah. Let's make this movie.
Done. We got a trilogy coming up.
When she pulls
get Allison Brie.
When she pulls the gun, she says, "You call that snack a feast?"
That's good.
Weird.
That's a good line. That's a funny line. Yeah. Oh, I like that.
Yeah, it's listen, nobody's criticizing his poetry. It's just that you just don't do it.
Don't show your wiener. Don't show your wiener.
Yeah. So moving on from there, we have some more dance practice, more Logan and Tori flirting. Oliver and Amos notice that Rupert's gone because now somebody has called him out on his dick flashing. And who was it? I think Amos says no, Oliver says, we can't even keep the perverts. Like they knew he was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So everyone leaves for the night except for Holly, who wants to practice more. Logan and Tori go for drinks, seemingly somewhere else in the building. He ends up having to leave for a meeting with Oliver, though. Holly is in the dressing room, and someone sneaks up on her. She screams. Tori comes back down, chases after the attacker. Tori blames Amos for it, and this was an interesting, dialogue part, because it's, he just keeps trying to push the blame off. She's like, "Where were you?" He's like, "What are you writing a book?" And it's just really weird.
Is he the one that says that line about shouldn't you be out there wiggling your butt and not your tongue or something like that?
Yeah. That's I think a little bit later when she's on the phone. But yeah, that's him.
Yeah, he's like, she was trying to screw me, and then he just says sex. He just says it was like a Billy Madison line. It's so weird.
Amos is a fucking weirdo, kind of pervy dude, but I loved him in this movie. I thought he was so funny. He's like my spirit animal in this movie. He's terrific.
Yeah. But yeah, he gets mad also. Logan comes in, says oh, hey, I know something happened with Tori. What's her name? Holly. I walked Holly to her car, and Amos is mad that no one lets him come to the meetings about the playhouse that Oliver and Logan were holding. Tori and Logan end up going back somewhere to bang, and turns out Amos, surprise, surprise, is Tori's #1 suspect for being the murderer of all these girls. Now, I don't know if they actually know that the girls are dead. They just disappeared. I don't know if they've ever found a body.
No, they never show a body.
Yeah.
He's also on the
later you do, but
he's also on the cover of the DVD as the murderer in the background in the smoke, but you can clearly see him. So it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are we going to talk about the sex scene anymore?
What?
Are you going to describe the sex
wasn't
scene?
going to, but you're welcome to.
Scene?
There's a sex scene in this movie between Tori and Logan, and it's another fully denimed sex scene. What is it with the movies we watch?
Oh,
I forgot that was a thing
was
that
the
happens.
dude all?
It hasn't been
he
in
was
a
all
while.
clothed.
Well, for one thing, Tori's beautiful, and Logan is 30 years older than her, and 250 pounds. And when they have their sex scene, he sits back in an armchair and she is naked and lays on top of him. And I swear to Christ, I could be misremembering this, but I'm pretty sure he's wearing a jean shirt and jean pants. And
double denim.
When when she lays on top of him, like, it's one of those, he not only fills the role, he overflows it a little. Like, you can see him on both sides of her as she's laying on top of him, and they're just writhing together, making sex noises. She's completely naked. He's fully clothed. All in denim. It didn't make any sense. It broke my brain.
And by completely naked, you just see her back. Let's just be clear about that.
Yeah, you see side boob and back.
Yeah, we don't get nudity in here.
Nope.
Wow.
Can't have any fun.
We gotta add that to the checklist for fully clothed men in sex scenes that are wearing only denim.
Just jean sex.
It's the best.
What was that zombie vampire
Evils
alien
of the
movie?
Night. Evils of the Night.
Yes.
Evils of the Night, yeah.
So
I
many
think that's
denim
where it
sex
started.
scenes. Yeah.
There was something else. There were a couple other movies though. The same deal.
There were several others, but
what was the one with
I think that might have been
the time bomb in the warehouse. What was that movie? The Worm Farmers?
Runaway Nightmare.
Thank you. I can't remember the names of any of these fucking movies. Runaway Nightmare had like 2 denim sex scenes in it.
I think Mausoleum might have had one too.
I think you're right.
You know what? I think this is tying into our Hollywood pants theme, and there's something about denim.
We're uncovering something.
Listen, my mom always said denim is the pants of Hollywood. And also, if you're gonna have sex, wear your jeans.
That's the best protection you can have.
Yeah, nothing crosses a good blue jean, she always said.
Dance 2, dry docking.
So at the end of the day's practice, dance practice, Amos comes out yelling that he wants to do more at the theater and how nobody lets him do anything, and he could help out more.
Bozo brother of yours.
This is the last time you push me out! Why in hell wasn't I at that meeting?
Knock it off, Amos.
I will not play the fool in my own theater!
And I told you, stay out of the prop room.
Just like father! I'll show you!
Amos?
And he stabs himself in the stomach, and he seems to be surprised that he stabbed himself. Like that. So I assume he was doing it for attention, and it was supposed to be a prop knife, because they later say oh, the knife was somebody messed with it. So it was that makes it way sadder. Because he just wanted attention and somebody to hear him out, and he ended up accidentally killing himself on stage.
Poor Amos, you beautiful butterfly.
Poor Amos.
Yeah.
You sweet dumb boy.
I hope there are a million goldfish to eat in heaven.
When he kills himself, he's like, just like father. And he's like, it hurts. It's so pathetic.
Yeah.
So pathetic.
That's brilliant.
That's
goddamn Shakespearean, just like father. That's wonderful.
Yeah. So after Amos dies, obviously the cops are going to come. So we have Edison and Logan show up to investigate, and they're talking with Tori in the back because they're interviewing all the dancers and everybody that was there. Edison decides that he's going to start taking more of an active role in the case because it could be he decides it could be high profile now, because now this guy killed himself and all these girls are going missing and nobody knows what's going on. So
drama.
Captain PR himself wants to get involved. We see a gloved hand go into Tori's bag and take out her gun, and then we have Oliver telling Logan that he basically admits I don't really care about this theater anymore, because Amos, he had a life insurance policy out on Amos, so with Amos dying, he's just going to get a lot of money and just screw the theater. He doesn't even like it anyway. So when actually he was interviewed by Edison and Logan as well, and they're basically well, you don't really feel sad, you don't seem sad about Amos's death. He was your brother, and he was just it was only a matter of time.
Yeah.
before he was gonna do something stupid like this.
Amos is not mourned at all.
At all. No. Yeah, poor Amos. Dan mourned him.
Yeah,
though,
I did.
so.
I still am. I miss you, Amos.
Yeah, he has a picture of Amos on the fridge.
Standing on
There's a
streets
heart
paved
around
with
it.
goldfish. A sweet baby boy.
So now we have a quick scene of Edison crying after he learned that he lost out on the PR job. And then he also got, off screen, he got beaten up by Repo and Mavis because they thought he was, like, creeping on the girls, even though he's just, like, I guess trying to investigate around the playhouse. This was all off screen. We don't really know what happened.
Yeah.
All the other girls leave for a party, and Tori is alone in the theater. The shadow killer is stalking around with her gun. She runs into Oliver, and the killer comes out to tell her that Oliver's selling the theater, and the killer also reveals himself to be, what's his name? Logan, the big director.
You stuck the
big
landing.
director that I forgot his name because I wrote it, typed it wrong in my notes.
Oh, that's all right.
So,
I mean, of course,
he
it's the
ends up-
big Hollywood boy that's coming into town. Of course, it is.
I got a little Zodiac killer from his outfit. He had like the black
Yeah, totally.
bag over his head, and he just needed the symbol on his chest. He would have been right on.
All right, so yeah, the killer has been revealed to be Logan, the director. He shoots Oliver, and then he goes off on like kind of his monologue here, where he talks about how he was upset because Oliver and Amos got to run the theater, and he I think this is what he's talking about. But basically, he says that their father did horrible things to him, and I don't believe they say in the exact words, but like he took advantage of Logan sexually when he was very young.
Definitely very implied. Super Hollywood tropes here.
Yeah, that's what I got out of it too.
Yeah. So Logan ended up killing Oliver and Amos's dad because he was a piece of shit as well. So Logan shoots Oliver a couple more times and kills him. Tori runs away. She grabs a high heel from her bag that she was given as a gift earlier and throws it at him, which somehow also stabs into his head, which allows her to run off, and he pulls it out and he chases her. And we get a little chase scene through the play. The playhouse. And Tori ends up finding two of the girls dead in the back. Also could have been mannequins. Really hard to tell. It was a kind of a shadowy, dark, prop room in the back.
Yeah, I think they were supposed to be bodies. You're right. I forgot about that. You're totally right.
And Tori and Logan fight in the prop room. He's strangling her, but she grabs a saw, the killer's first weapon, and slices him in the face. Not the neck or anything, just the face. And he falls down and dies from his face wound.
Full circle.
It's true. That's a real book ending.
Yeah. And then we cut to an empty theater, and a new girl is coming in for an audition. And then we cut to credits, baby, because that was Flashdance.
Hey!
Hi, is anybody here? I'm here for the audition.
Do you guys want to get to ratings? Do you have anything else you want to say about this movie before we get to ratings?
No.
I think everything can be summed up in ratings.
Time for the ratings.
All right, here on Stabby Stabby, we like to rate the movies we watch by stabbing them to death. Stabbing is something we do affectionately here. So 1 stab means we hated it and we don't think you should watch this movie, and 10 stabs means we think it's an all-time classic and you should watch it every day of the week, every week of the month, every month of the year. I want to know how you guys, how much would you stab Flashdance? Would you Flashdance a lot? Greg, how would you rate this movie?
Well, for Flashdance, I'm going to go ahead and give it 4 stabs. This was not a good movie. The story was all over the place, and really about 60 minutes of it weren't interesting at all. But the first 20 minutes are just so good and fun, and it's only when you actually get into the plot of the movie that it really loses its way. Which is a weird thing to say, but this movie succeeded with that significantly. It gets boring. There's nothing to really keep you interested. But I'm going to give it 4 for the first 20 minutes because honestly, like I thought this movie was going to be amazing with how the acting was, just like the characters that we were introduced to early on. It was just fun, and then it became not fun anymore. I don't think the special effects were anything to talk about. There's no nudity. The Misty Rivers was great, but most characters were forgettable. I didn't really like Amos, and he was, I guess, supposed to be maybe the heart of the movie, but he was just annoying.
No! Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's for your review, Dan.
Sorry.
But I did like all the women that ended up having been wrestlers in Glow. They were just fun, and I like Tori was I think a great lead actress in this movie. She didn't seem like too like overpowered or anything like that. She just seemed smart, kind of. But yeah, so yeah, honestly, like I don't know. Do you need to watch this movie? No. Should you? Sure. Why not? Get it from VHS-PS. It's worth it for the cover alone. 4 stabs from me. How about you, Eric? How many stabs you giving it?
I think I gotta bump mine out. Originally, my notes are just 2 stars sucks. But after talking it with you guys, I think I'll go to 3. I'm gonna do 3 stars. I have the same thing.
Stars? What are these stars?
Oh, did I say stars? Oh, I'm thinking the Hollywood.
Blasphemy.
Hollywood stars.
You're stuck with the Hollywood pants.
I'm gonna do
Hollywood pants stars.
3 soiled trousers. Yeah, so 3 stabs. Sorry about that. Yeah, to Greg's point, like the cover's the best part, and that's never good. The cover makes it look so badass. Makes it look like it's such a and the concept is awesome, but it's for me, yeah, it was ultimately disappointing. I mean, it has some good bad stuff, like the inappropriate doctor voiceover was hilarious to me. The kills are not good. The Glow wrestlers are pretty great. The weird brother eating fish. The over-the-top boss was pretty fun. The captain and the eyebrow removal was fantastic. But zero nudity. kills are bad. So yeah, I'm gonna go 3 stabs. How about you, Dan?
Usually I'm the most negative of the bunch, but I'm giving this 5 stabs. I thought this was not great, but I didn't think it was terrible. 5 stabs for me. It's gonna be right in the middle.
Nice.
Mostly for me, I liked how absurd it was. I liked how the characters didn't really make a lot of sense. Yeah, like we've been talking about through this whole episode. I feel like it could have been so much better. The ingredients are here to be a really awesome B movie, but for what it is, I dug it. I think I would probably watch this again at some point with like a crowd of like drunken friends or something like that.
Nice.
I'm sure this will scratch an itch for somebody out there, but I would not call it good. I wouldn't say that you have to go watch it now. Like, get really stoned and put on some 80s music and just have this at like 50% volume in the background, and it'll be like a good like mood setter for like the background at a party. That's kind of the spot where this movie holds in my head right now, I think. So that was Flashdance. That's how I felt about it.
Nice.
This was fun to watch. I think we should watch more musical movies. I like the physicality. I like the little dancing.
Isn't there?
It was a good time.
What's the other Murder Rock? Isn't that that's another one?
Yeah, Murder Rock's one of the best movies ever.
Yeah,
So.
maybe we could do that in the future.
Good.
Hell yeah, TBD. That sounds good. Well, thank you for listening this long to this episode. It's probably going to be longer than the actual movie, so, there you go. Now you don't have to watch it. Hey, Greg, if they want to learn more about what we're watching next, where can they go?
You can bring your little dance moves over to Instagram and follow us at Stabby Pod. And we'll let you know what we're watching next. Every Wednesday, we'll let you know the next movie we're going to be talking about the following Monday. And yeah, come and also let us know what you think we should watch. If you have a weirdo movie that really tickles your dance moves, let us know, and we'll add it to the list and hopefully most likely watch it. So. Yeah, so pop on over to Instagram at StabbyPod, STABBYPOD. Forgot
No, you got there in the end. It's fine. That was tension building. You did that intentionally. Yeah, and I guess if you want to review us on whatever podcast application or platform you're using, that would help us out a lot. We really appreciate it. If you have any friends that like just sitting around bullshitting about movies that you think might enjoy our podcast, please share it with them. We would really appreciate that. It would really mean a lot to us. We're like a little outfit got a pretty good audience. We really appreciate everybody that's been listening so far. There's more of you than you know. It's pretty surprising, actually. So, like, you know, if we could spread around a little bit, that'd be awesome. Otherwise, do you guys have anything else to add?
No.
All right.
Go check out VHSPS.com.
Oh, yeah, they're rad.
Pick up some movies from them. We get a lot from them, so.
Yeah, and just
good dudes over there.
just remember, your next audition could be your last.
Ooh.
Hey, Eric, what do we like to say at the end of every episode?
Don't forget to stab your friends.
Jackpot! Hold her, my turn. I've been waiting for this.